It's such a pleasure to see you again. I see there are children here. If you're in need of a babysitter, I'd be more than happy to look after them. Back in town, everyone would be busy on a bright day like this. The harvesters roaring as they reaped the wheat, stacking it pile after pile. Of course, no one ever paid me any mind. Shame they were too occupied to enjoy my stories. Naturally, as mankind keeps on progressing, fear will also take on new forms. But it always comes full circle. Doesn't matter what era. Some fears stay the same. Folks will still be afraid of falling from heights, of many-legged insects and slithering snakes, of being naked in public, and of having their long-hidden secrets revealed. Patience is a virtue. Always has been. Now, should I put the playhouse near those books? No, that might just put folks on edge. How about the greenhouse? That'd be a fine choice. Or next to those Nixie tubes. The light does fit the hallway. Oh, hello there. The motel sign says free breakfast, but I never prepare it. I guess they're never in the mood to eat after a night's stay. Oh, you're awake. I heard you talking in your sleep and thought I'd check on you. Relax. Your door was open before I came in. Whatever sort of reputation it has, a place to stay gains a special allure when night comes around. The thought of a nice room and a soft pillow draws them in like moths to a flame, no matter what's hidden under the bed. Oh, Furton, talk about clumsy parenting. When it's late at night and a child won't stay asleep, what you ought to do is stomp up to their door, make sure they hear those footsteps, then wait just for a while. Trust me, it's a surer thing than hiding a snake under their pillow. Only the head, or no head at all, and only once per night. Don't want the guests to get too accustomed to the horror, and it'd get altogether tedious. Back then, my fingernails were always dirty. I'd scrub them raw with a rough brush until they cracked and bled. Pa would get angry. Suppose he saw my actions as a kind of childish protest. Mom would be silent, but she'd leave the door open for me the next day. I learned to do the same for my guests. Simple, soft, soothing. The perfect get-up for a maid, and the perfect excuse for me to knock on a guest's door. I've never stopped wanting you to get the allure of fear. Naturally, the more time I spend with you, the better I understand how to manage it. Everyone's got their weaknesses. Even a tough-as-nails, 100-eyed giant. Who would have thought a person without fear could exist in the world? But one is already enough. If there were more, it'd get boring. So I heard there's a comic night festival here. No harm in adding a campfire horror story fest, is there? You know how I love fear. At least I was more considerate than those antagonists in those horror films. All my guests checked out in one piece, after all. Sometimes children would gather to tell scary stories. They try to up the ante, telling the ones they overheard from adults. I loved it. one of the only times I felt like I was a part of the conversation. Until they decided they'd rather cancel the meetups than have me along. They say survivors often feel guilty, that seeing violence ought to make you fear it. But however many times I go back to those blood-soaked memories, all I feel is freedom. Exhilarating freedom. Our rooms are always open for new guests. Happy to lend a hand. This way, please. My child. What's that up on your shoulder? Your room is ready, dear. A real troublemaker of a guest, aren't you? It's for your safety. Shh, you're waking it. A bloody handprint on broken glass. Classic. Knock, knock. Room service. You'd really do that to a poor little maid? Perfect service, just like always. More ghosts or more skeletons? No, it ought to have a touch more mystery for that fear of the unknown. Oh, this sensation. It reminds me of the day I walked out of that red door.